good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And you know the contempt I hold one Julius Malema in. You have to go no further than this stupid red hat that epitomizes what the party stands for. Everything for free, and it starts at the top. And this quality EFF hat is flea-ridden, and it goes back into the bin where it belongs. Why am I talking about Malema? Well, it's all starting to come out about how the chameleon with the forked tongue is starting to be exposed. And despite the fact that he denies being involved in any way with the looting of the VBS Bank, all roads lead back to Rome. And he's in a huge amount of trouble. Well, he would be if he was in any other country in the world. But in South Africa, the judiciary is conflicted. It's totally jeopardized. It's kind of, depends on who actually hears your case as to what happens. There's no equitable justice in South Africa. And that's what Malema is holding his hopes on. So, let's see what we're talking about here. There are 8 key takeaways from Malema's time of spending dangerously. This is when he was looting the VBS Bank, which basically destroyed the life savings of the very poorest of the poor in South Africa when it went belly up. And Malema, who claims to represent those very same people in politics, was the major beneficiary. What a puss. Sorry, I'm talking about the satellite flies around the earth. Okay, guys, just let's get that in context. Settle down, YouTube. Okay. 1. The lifestyle, business prospects and political aspirations of EFF President Julius Malema were funded from the 16.1 million rand robbed from VBS Mutual Bank and paid out to Skameka Projects, the company of the brother of EFF Deputy President Floyd Shivambu. And Floyd Shivambu's brother is Brian. Malema's share of the loot was 5.3 million rand, and it was dumped into his slush fund, Mahuna Investments. Malema spent the VBS money on clothing from Gucci and Louis Vuitton, groceries from Checkers and Woolworths, the Polokwane party venue, Makete Lodge, the house he once rented in Sandown, Johannesburg, as well as on accommodation and travel costs between EFF events. The name of his eldest son appears in the bank statements relating to school fees, and a trust named after his second son also received a small amount of VBS money. And yes, a big chunk of VBS money was used for the benefit of the EFF. Over 40% of the transactions Scorpio analysed further show the bank card followed Malema around the country. Malema has vehemently denied any link to the VBS robbery and Mahuna Investments in the past. 2. Mahuna Investments is legally the company of Matsabani Faleng, Malema's cousin. Faleng denied ever having received any money from VBS Bank. However, 4.8 million rands worth of payments in 9 tranches were clearly marked VBS Credit Shivambu. Another 500,000 rand was paid to Mahuna Investments in May 2018 by Grand Azania, the slush fund of Floyd Shivambu. Do you get this? They've all got these slush funds going. This is money laundering. Big style. Hundreds of thousands of rands amongst these EFF prominent politicians. They are all corrupt. That's the bottom line. In 2012, Faleng denied any relations to Malema. This month he told Scorpio it is a well-known fact that Malema is one of his many cousins. 3. We know this because Scorpio analyzed 470 transactions reflecting in the ABSA bank statements of Mahuna Investments between 2017 and 2018. These included the VBS Bank statements of Scameka Projects and the Standard Bank statements of Grand Azania, which form part of a broader criminal investigation into wrongdoing at VBS. It is, however, only VBS liquidator Anush Ruplal who has shown results for his work so far. Ruplal liquidated and sequestrated several of the VBS bank managers, some related family members and related companies, including robber-in-chief and former VBS CEO Chiufiwa Matodzi. This is an attempt to claw back some of the 1.89 billion rand robbed from VBS depositors. Brian Shavamba must also pay back 2.78 million rand for a business loan Scameka Projects received from VBS. 4. Mahuna Investments received over 10 million rand between 2017 and 2018. About half of it, or 5.3 million rand, is VBS loot. Malema spent about just as much in the same period. Some of the big-ticket items he splashed on in the 2 years included almost 500,000 in what seems to be suits from designer Linda Makanya. These are marked as cooperate wear in the bank statements. Another 500,000 was channeled towards a house and pool at 49A Edward Rubenstein, Sandown, Johannesburg. Malema once rented there. A third 500,000 was spent on the opulent Experience Marquee in July 2017. It is a tent pitch for the Durban July. The property was later registered as an EFF asset. Malema also spent over 2 million rand on Polokwane party venue Makiti Lodge. The money seems to be meant for upgrades to the infrastructure. 5. Faleng disagrees with Scorpio's findings. He claims all the expenses were his own, that Mahuna Investments is a legitimate business and that he has done no wrong. The bank statements, however, seem to contradict his statements, and his social media does not suggest that he was present where the bank card was used. Faleng said all taxes have been paid, yet the bank statements show no tax or VAT being paid to the South African Reserve Services. In fact, the bank statements suggest there was no bona fide company at all. Operational expenses are missing, and the income seems dodgy. At least 5.3 million rand in VBS money and therefore proceeds of crime. Another 500,000 rand was received from AfriRent, which Ama Bongani said has been a kickback for a dodgy 1 billion rand fleet deal involving the city of Johannesburg. The additional income needs further investigation. Faleng further notes that he deserves the income from Scameka Projects and Grand Azania by delivering consulting services. This cannot be, as Scameka Projects was never a real business. It is a slush fund that derived its only income from VBS. These were illegal payments with no documentation underpinning its worth. Scameka Projects had, like Mahuna Investments, no operational expenses and did not function as a business. Welcome to the world of the EFF. Faleng's claim of consulting for Scameka Projects cannot be true. 6. Malema's share of 5.3 million rand equals about 4 years' salary to him as a Member of Parliament. Speaking of Parliament, Malema would be in a bind if he denied that Mahuna Investments is his. His children derive benefit from Mahuna Investments, as well as the house that he once lived in. It's a catch-22 situation. If Malema did not declare a donation by Mahuna Investments, which contributed to the welfare of his children and his house, he'll be in trouble with Parliament. If he comes out and confirms that Mahuna Investments is his, he concedes to have committed several crimes, including money laundering. They're very good at these politicians. The whole scheme of funneling money from VBS towards Malema through two front companies was designed to mask the origin and the ultimate beneficiary of the money. Julius Chameleon Malema! 7. The Mahuna Investments Bank card followed Malema to locations like the Durban July in 2017 and 2018, the 2018 land debate in Vryburg, Mmabatho and Rustenburg, the EFF's birthday celebrations in July 2018, Christmas and New Year's celebrations in Seshego and Polokwane, and only the best champagne will do for Julius. And also Cape Town. During the land debate in Parliament, a large chunk of the company's expenses were also affected within a 3 to 6 kilometre radius around the house Malema is renting from cigarette boss Adriano Mazzotti in Hyde Park, Johannesburg. And finally, 8. Faleng said, "We are taking legal advice as to whether it is legal for you to obtain our bank statements without our consent, because we suspect that you used illegal methods to get them." Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. My gosh. He did not explain who the "we" are he refers to. And in conclusion, this article states, Scorpio will welcome legal action and a chance to investigate more of Mahuna Investments' income and expenses, which supported Malema's lifestyle, business propositions, and political aspirations. And you can understand now why the EFF are banning certain politicians from attending EFF functions. And it's not because of their safety, it's because this is like a little 5-year-old child saying, "You took my toy." You know the big crybaby is? You got it. You hit the nail on the head. Julius Malema. He's been caught out big time, and I think this is a story we're going to be talking about for a while before the EFF goes, Oh, while I'm talking about that, where is my little badge? Haven't used it for a while, but Julius Chameleon Malema, you can pog my horn. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates, and please be safe. Take care.